Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of solutions, graphs, and quadratic functions. This is standard A.6C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 28 of the 2019 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have a quadratic function graphed for us, and we need to find which of these functions best represent that. So really what we're looking for is a quadratic equation written in standard form. So this is where we get our h of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And we do know something from this form. We do know that if it's a negative, it's going to be a downward opening quadratic function. This is an upward opening, which means it needs to be positive. And take a look at, first off, we don't have any a's here. They're all just going to be a 1. Just assumed 1, and it looks like they're all positive. So we can't eliminate any answers because there happens to be a negative a. So we've got two options for solving this. We could either use our vertex form. Right, so this is my h of x equals a, and then x minus h squared plus k. This is helpful because h and k are actually the x and y coordinates of the vertex. Looks like we got a pretty solid vertex there of 3, -9. So we could use that if we wanted to, along with a point in the graph. I'm going to use the factored form. But if you did the vertex form, that would also work. So the factored form is just taking the standard form and factoring it out. So that is a. I've got x minus u times x minus v. And these two expressions are helpful because the u and the v are actually my zeros, or my solutions, or my x-intercepts, however you want to term them. And we've got two good ones right here. All right, so my two zeros, or my two solutions, are 6 and 0. All right, so I'm going to say, well, when h of 6 equals 0 and h of 0 equals 0. So I'm just going to put that in right there, 0, and then I've got a. Still don't know what that is. So I've got x minus 0. That's just going to be x. And then x minus 6. So I need to go ahead and let's just make this a times x and then x minus 6. That'll make it a little bit simpler. So it's just going to be 0 equals a, and I'm going to say distribute that out, x squared minus 6x. Now, that's as far as we get. We do see that on h, but we don't know what the a is. That's as far as we get. We need to go back to our what we know so far of our standard form here. And we need to substitute in some values here. So I'm looking at this right here. So I've got a 5, -5. Really now, I'm going to sub in my -5 for my h of x. I'm going to sub in my 5 for my x. And I'm really just looking for a now. It could possibly, if it's 1, right, then obviously h is my answer, but we're not 100% sure. So I've got, let's see, -5. And this is a, 25 minus 30. Yep, look at that. -5 equals -5a. We have to divide both sides by -5. A equals 1. So really just disappears. So what we had originally, it's not always going to be that easy, but that's just going to be 1. So we can actually just take these off right here. And we can say x squared minus 6x. That's what h of x is. It's a upward facing positive a. My answer is h.